So, I thought I would brag a little bit more on my homeland of Norway. First, velkommen. Takk for sist. Det är så käckt att snacka med alla dere. Thank you for the last time. Welcome, and it's always fun to talk with all of you. I can't even tell you how cool it is seeing the comments, seeing the views. I'm trying to create something fun and interesting. Sometimes I feel like I do. Sometimes I feel like it might be a miss. But I'm trying, and I'll get better. I promise. I work hard at everything I do. I'm still in Oklahoma, in my hotel room. Yeah, they're all the same. I mentioned that in my last video too, so we won't go over that again. But I just thought I'm sure a lot of you, if you're watching this, you already have an interest in Norway. You probably know a lot about it. There might be some things you don't know. One thing probably most of you do, and it's something I take great pride in every Winter Olympics. Oh yeah, ja, vi älskar detta land. That's the Norwegian national anthem. It means, yes, we love this country. And I do. I mean, I say it all the time, but Norway is in my soul. It's in my heart. You're in my heart. No, I won't do that. But, so get this. Norway is a country of approximately 5 million people. I think it's about 5.2 million. The United States, which I love dearly, very proud to live here. I love this country with all my heart. But the US has a population of around 335 million people. Germany has a population of around 84 million. And the old USSR, did I say too many S's there? USSR had a population of around 290 million in 1980, which was several years before it disbanded. But anyway, so when you, I just had a comment come in. Very cool. Skål tillbaka. Norway has won, get this, 405 medals in the Winter Olympics. As a country of 5 million people, the US has won, I had to write it down, but 330. Germany has won 286, and the USSR 194. That's freaking incredible. So those two of those countries, if you take Germany and the USSR, they don't have that many more medals than the Norway has. And together they're well over 300 million, almost 400 million. And of course, the US is 330 million. Norwegians take their outdoors seriously. There's a saying in Norway, it's Friluftsliv. And it basically means, we love the outdoors. Love the outdoors. It doesn't matter. There's a saying in Norway too that there's no bad weather. There's just bad clothes. And Norwegians are not afraid of the weather. They will go out in the middle of winter, ice bathing, going into the ocean, lakes, whatever, cutting holes in ice, swimming in the snow. They are not afraid of the weather. And I've mentioned that I was born in Norway. I lived there till I wasn't 5 yet when we left. And then I lived there again for a year and a half in the 80s, which I talked about a couple of videos ago. And, skiing is a huge part of Norway. As you can see from the Olympics, when you watch the Winter Olympics, they dominate cross-country skiing and a lot of downhill skiing too. In the past 20 years, we've had some really good downhill skiers. And just another aside, because I can't help myself. Oh, I can't think of his name right now, but a year and a half ago at the Summer Olympics, a freaking Norwegian broke the 400-meter world record. I mean, he kicked butt. And another guy actually broke it too, if the Norwegian hadn't broken it. He was second, but so that was a pretty proud moment too. In the Summer Olympics, which we don't do as well in the Summer Olympics. Like I'm the guy running or skiing, but I do ski. I had skis as a toddler. My parents have told me about it. I don't remember it real well. I have memories of Norway. I was 4.5 when we moved. And I have memories. I have a memory sitting outside my bestemor's house in Hjelmeland, which I've talked about before. Man, it's beautiful. Any of you that get the chance that haven't been to Norway and you've got ancestry in Norway, get there. You will not regret it. It's expensive. Everything's expensive. In fact, here's a little story I wanted to tell, because Norwegians are famous for being shy, not especially outgoing, but that can change in an instant, as I found out. So this would have been 1996, early 1996. Yeah, it was January. I took my daughter and we went back to Norway. In fact, in one video, I think I said it was 1995, but it was 96. It was January. So it was right after Christmas. My mom went over and I took my 4-year-old daughter at the time and we went back. And my mom was watching my daughter Kirsten one night, and I went to hang out with a couple of my cousins, Lisa and Nina. I won't give any last names, but anyway, super cool. I love my cousins. I don't know all of them real well, but a couple of them I know fairly well. And we went to Lisa's apartment in Stavanger, and I kind of hung out there for a while with some friends and had a few drinks. And then Lisa and her husband said, why don't we go down to the bars? I was like, bars? I've been all over Stavanger. I didn't see any friggin' bars. Sorry, somebody else just commented. But yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I love bars. Cheers is one of my favorite TV shows ever. I'm the guy that will sit there and just, BS with somebody all night. Another aside, here we go. Aside up here. I'm on the road a lot, and I used to go out to bars quite a bit. Not necessarily, I like having a beer, but it was mostly to meet people, talk, because I'm on my own out on the road all the time. And I would run into people and just BS with, people all night. I'm that kind of guy. I like meeting people. I like telling stories. I like hearing stories. I've kind of stopped doing that. It's just not the same anymore. Nowadays, it's basically everybody's just sitting on their phone. And it makes me sad because I think we're losing something in society. But I know I sound like an old fart when I say that. My wife has told me that. But I think I'm right on this one. I think there's something missing. I know my boys and, both my daughters are in relationships, but my boys, it's tough to meet somebody now. I used to go cruising. I used to go to bars, go to dances, all this stuff. And it seems like, anyway, that's for another time. But anyway, it makes me sad because I just don't go out as much anymore, because mostly I just kind of sit there by myself watching the TV and having a beer. And I'm like, well, I can have a beer for 75 cents in my hotel room. I don't need to spend $7 on one. Excuse me. Anyway, so we went out and I hadn't seen any signs of nightlife in Stavanger. Boy, did I get an eyeful, an earful, sensationful. It was freaking incredible. So we hit several bars that night, which I didn't even know they were there. They're like disguised during the day or something. But when the Norwegians get out on the weekend and get their drink on a little bit, it was so much fun. I had just a blast. Everybody was friendly. Being the Norwegian American there, everybody wanted to speak English to me. And of course, I wanted to speak Norwegian to everybody else. So it was like this mix of, how in the Spanish language you have Spanglish. Well, we had some version of that. Norglish, Norwegianish. Anyway, I should invent a word for that. But we had this mix of Norwegian and English going, and it was a really fun night. The one thing I'll warn anybody about that's heading to Norway, be prepared for sticker shock. So I was taking all my cousins out in my mind and some friends. And so when we got to the bar, the first bar, I gave them my American Express and said, just run a tab. This was the mid-90s. I'm thinking, well, I'll buy 2-3 rounds and then somebody else can take over. Uh, and after like the third round, I asked the bartender for my total, thinking, I think there were 6 or 7 of us at the time, maybe 8 of us. I can't remember. 6 or 7 is what's in my memory. So I'm thinking, $5, $6 a person, 3 rounds, maybe $100. It was pushing $300 after less than an hour. So I was like, give me my card back. Somebody else's turn. But yeah, so Norwegians are kind of shy and standoffish in their everyday life. They're not rude. Trust me, they're not rude. They're just amazing people, beautiful people. I can't wait to get back. It's been too long since I've been there. One of my sons and I are talking about getting back there soon. And I think we're just going to have to plan it and go, because it's the kind of stuff you put off and you put off and you put off. And the next thing you know, 10 years has gone by. And it's too long. It just calls to me all the time. And I'll always be a Norwegian at heart. But anyway, thought it was kind of a fun little story. Slice of life. Slice of life. I haven't had any beers. Slice of life in Norway. And, if you get the chance, don't put it off. Go. If you got any kind of ancestry, any kind of draw to that. And like I've said before, don't let anybody tell you you're not Norwegian. If you got ancestry that's Norwegian, you're friggin' Norwegian. Embrace it, own it, love it. Norway's a diverse place these days, and a lot of great people. Go see it. Go see the land. It's just amazing, and it will never leave your soul. Anyway, takk for denne gang. Thank you for this time. Det var kjekt å snakke med dere. It was nice to talk to all of you. And vi snakkes igjen snart. We'll talk again soon. So for now, ha det godt.